In the last couple of months, I've been conducting a survey, and this has revealed 4 areas which property developers and self-builders alike struggle with. So in this video, we're going to cover those 4 areas and point you towards a solution. Hi, my name is Jim J. Davidson, and I've been involved in property since 1973, when my brother and I purchased a flat in the student area of Edinburgh. Ever since then, I've been interested in property as a form of wealth creation. My current company, Fineside Developments, was established in 2003 and completed its first new build in 2006. And I hope you will join me on this journey as perhaps you start your own property journey. The first one was finding land. Let's be honest, unless you find land, there's no project. Now this was not a surprise to me because it's a difficulty that faces most developers and self-builders. There are bits of land out there being advertised, but they're often overpriced. And if it's a good piece of land in a nice location, then there's a lot of competition and you have to be very quick. But that creates another danger because then you don't have time to properly check it out, and that exposes you to financial risk. So what you really need to do is to find land that's not on the market, or at least not widely known to be on the market. The second area is knowing what your build costs are. Now I've done a video on this, and I have to say this is my most popular video, and the reason is because most people are struggling with this. You go onto forums and you hear different prices, and there's so many different opinions on how much it is per square foot, and what does that per square foot include, and what does it not include, and depending on what part of the country it's in, is that really correct for my part of the country? So it's a very confusing area. The reality is no one can really tell you how much it's going to cost you to build because there's lots of factors in it. Now I suggest that you have a look at the video that I prepared on this, and this will give you some idea of the complexity of this particular issue. However, there is a solution. The third area is assessing the viability of your site. Now interestingly enough, you need to know the answer to the second area of difficulty that we talked about. How much is it going to cost you to build the house in the first place in order to properly assess the viability of your site? But of course you need to take into account far more things than that. You need to understand about the ground conditions and all the different complexities that are in there that could make the site that you're looking at cost prohibitive or far too expensive, and therefore you need to negotiate down the price. The problem is, and I find this so often because I look through every day the different Facebook forums, and I see questions continually coming up about things where people have bought land and then they've discovered something that they just didn't know they needed to check out. You need to check out all these different things before you actually agree to purchase the price. So assessing the viability is very important because that will affect the price that you pay for the piece of ground that you're interested in. The fourth area is finding good tradespeople. Now I hear lots of horror stories where people have engaged the wrong tradespeople, and it's created all sorts of stress and problems to them, either overcharging or doing not very good work or perhaps not turning up. And yet there's a lot of good tradespeople out there, and it's finding those people to work on your project that's going to take away a lot of the stress that might be associated, particularly if this is the first time that you've done it. So identifying and knowing how to find good tradespeople, I think, is fundamentally important to your project. So this is probably the part of the video that you've been waiting to hear. After all, if you've started the journey for property development or self-building, you will have come across many of these problems yourself. So what's the solution? Well, part of the reason that I carried out this research was that although I have been in property development in terms of new build development, having completed my first new build in 2006, I have been aware of all the different areas that I struggled with over the last 15, 16 years. And I felt that there was a need to guide people through that process. But rather than creating a framework to help people, I wanted to make sure that I was on the right track. And so I've now designed a course, and it's very much a skeleton, because again, I want to work with some people to work through and understand, as we introduce each aspect of this, where they might continue to struggle. So rather than creating a lot of content, I'm running a pilot. Now, if you want to be part of that pilot, then there's an opportunity for you to join us. And the first step for that would be to go to the header of this YouTube video, if you're on desktop, and sign up for our launch of our app that will be launching in the next few weeks. And if you are on any other device, again, in the description, there'll be a link to sign up for this app. And in fact, on the sign up forms, there'll be an opportunity for you to tick the box to say that you want to be notified when the pilot course is being launched. And that puts you under no obligation at all. But I feel that this will be a useful tool, and although there will be a charge for it, it will more than pay for itself in the discount that you will be able to achieve, first of all, on the piece of land that you are negotiating on, but also on the many headaches that you could save yourself by properly investigating the land and making sure that you are not buying a lemon or puppy, as they might say in some sort of like slang language. So this is, I believe, a great opportunity. It will be heavily discounted. It will involve an awful lot. In fact, it will all be delivered in its initial stages through one-on-one conversations. As things start to develop and I find that there's a trend, then I will create some videos to go along with that. But you'll get the opportunity to work with me one-on-one in helping you find your first development site. So if that interests you, then as I say, click on the link, whether it's up in the header in desktop or down below in the description box, and sign up for the app. And in a few weeks' time, when we launch this, you'll be notified and have the opportunity to have a conversation with me one-on-one and discover for yourself whether this is something that you want to do or not. And I promise you, there will be no pressure for you to be able to join us, because there will be enough people wanting to come on board with this, and there is going to be very much a limited number of people that can. In fact, I'm restricting it to 10 people. Anyway, enough said of that. Look forward to seeing you on the next video, and in the meantime, have a look around. There's lots of other videos to watch, and just one thing, I would really appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed, and if you like this video or any of the other videos, then click a link. And also, if you want to engage with me, send me an email at jim@builditandprosper.com. That's jim@builditandprosper.com. Until the next time, take care and stay safe. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Then click to watch the next video. Please remember to visit our website at builditandprosper.com to get our app, or click on the button on the YouTube header if you're on desktop.